scheduled for 8 minutes plus overtime. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, with an official weight of 169 pounds, he is a European Open No-Gi and Absolute Champion and a UFC Fight Pass Invitational veteran. Out of New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, Austin, Texas, Oliver Taza. And in the red corner, with an official weight of 169 pounds, he is a 4-time World Championship gold medalist and 3-0 at Fight Pass Invitational 7, 8, and 9. Out of Hybrid Jiu-Jitsu and São Vicente, Brazil, by way of Las Vegas, Nevada, Renato. Canuto! The referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
The co-main event has arrived. It is a rematch from their first meeting in 2019. Oliver Taza looks to right his wrong against that man, Renato Canuto. TJ DeSantis, along with BMAC, Brandon McCatherine, Michael Chiesa, FPI star Mikey Musumeci, live in Las Vegas. Immediately on that head for a brief moment is Canuto, now working a single leg.
Oh, immediately making a move towards the back. Nice counter by Taza, though. And it's the speed of Renato Canuto just makes him so dangerous.
Yeah, at the drop of a dime, he's attacking with lightning speed. But Taza, like you said, being more of a strategy guy, he started at TriStar. For people that know, Firas Zahabi, one of the most famed coaches in MMA, who prides himself in strategy. So starting his martial arts career under Firas Zahabi, now with John Donahue, that's where the strategy comes from.
Mikey, what is a strategy when you're taking on someone like Canuto, who is always probably making you think about the dynamic attacks, the flying? You got to be worried about everything.
Well, what you see Oliver Taza trying to do a lot is every time he's falling, he's letting Canuto take him down, and he's using that to get inside Canuto's legs. That's his strategy so far. He's kind of half wrestling just to fall and then fall inside leg locks like you're seeing right now. But Canuto's doing a good job staying. He's onside his leg now. Canuto has to point his foot. But every time he keeps falling, he keeps going inside Canuto's legs. He keeps doing like a fake takedown.
And Mikey, if Canuto has shown any chinks in the armor, it's definitely been in the leg lock game.
Yeah, Canuto trained a lot of leg locks as well. He's worked them a lot throughout the years. And Canuto's really good at taking the back from spots like this. But what's saving Oliver Taza right now is the overhook he has on Canuto's foot. That's keeping Canuto from diving to take his back. So Canuto's about to peel his foot and try to backstep. Taza is doing a good job. That overhook is keeping him in.
Pulling on the head there is Canuto.
I know Taza's been working a lot recently on leveling up his straight ankle lock and Aoki game. I think we could see him.
Now that underhook's going to help Canuto get out. Oh, but Taza went back to the overhook. That overhook is what's keeping Canuto's leg in at the moment. But he's getting a little tighter. Okay, Taza doesn't have the overhook anymore. This is better for Canuto. Now he dropped his knee. This is really good for Canuto. Now he's getting the half guard. Beautiful.
2-on-1 grip there by Taza. Now just pulling it out of reach. It's Canuto, but still that right hand glued to the wrist.
Yeah, Taza working into the lockdown position with his half guard, trying to utilize that underhook and then the 2-on-1 with the leg to try to pop up into a dogfight position. Yeah, Renato hiding his hip to the mat, though.
Yeah, and the underhook is a little bit shallow. To come into that dogfight, sometimes you got to punch that underhook through. Helps you get your hips flat to the mat.
And watch out for this butterfly guard game right here with Taza.
Three minutes of elapsed time here in our co-main event, 5 to go. Again, a 5-minute overtime period awaits us if we fail to get a submission in regulation.
And look what a great job Taza does of applying his weight onto the guard of Canuto. Even though he's in a low position, he's kind of on his knees, he's projecting that chest forward, staying super heavy on the frames of Canuto, causing him to just keep a low level of energy expenditure at all times.
Definitely an efficient approach right now from Taza.
Canuto did a good job getting to the leg now. Oh, but counter leg lock from Taza. Good defense by Canuto. Good retention from Canuto so far. Notice how Canuto's left leg is framing his trap, Taza's trap, and that's what's keeping Taza from coming forward.
Utilizing that high knee shield. And the nice thing for Taza is if he's got Canuto on his back, he's really like negating most of the explosiveness and the crazy movement, the speed of Renato Canuto.
Absolutely.
The only thing I would say is once it gets more slippery, the leg lock game becomes much harder as the match goes on. So once we get into overtime, it'll be a lot harder for Taza to attack legs on Canuto.
Again, Taza coming in with that heavy pressure. Knees just slightly off the ground, making sure Canuto's wearing the bulk of the weight.
A nice retention from Canuto so far, keeping him inside his legs. Renato's trying to come up now.
Vamos tentar elevar ele. Usa esse ganchinho aqui para começar a elevar ele.
Now Canuto's playing like a half butterfly guard game, hooking his leg.
Taza keeping the consistent pressure against the guard of Renato Canuto.
And I like how he's keeping his weight back, keeping Canuto from getting underneath him. Canuto got his hands locked right now.
Canuto just sticky, climbing the body, getting into his closed guard. Taza shakes it off, makes a leg lock entry. Canuto into a leg lock of his own to counter, and he comes to the top position.
Beautiful sweep by Canuto. But again, no points in regulation, so this is all just like if they can see any openings for submissions, right?
2.5 minutes remain here in regulation. Nice kind of sportsmanship by these two as we head down the stretch here.
Taza's got to be careful shooting for that single leg because you know that Canuto will drop back that flying scissor trip, get to that leg lock position.
Oh, beautiful pass by Canuto. Beautiful pass by Canuto.
Excellent guard pass now into the knee on belly. Got to be careful he doesn't rush over to the mount and get this guard recovery for Taza.
Goes back to knee on belly, just Canuto.
Yeah, good patience there.
Oliver's keeping his elbows in now, trying to create space.
Canuto wanted to shuck that arm past, slide around to the back. Taza does a good job keeping his elbow on this near side, not letting it cross the center line too much to expose the back. Nice work, Taza.
Taza able to get back to his feet. Touch over 90 seconds remains here in regulation.
Taza with the underhook, looking for the knee pick. Canuto wise to and steps back.
This is the same spot with PJ Barks.
Oh, it looked nice on a wizard kick from Renato Canuto.
Still time here for Canuto to work. 70 seconds remaining in regulation.
I know there's probably a fancy name for that throw in judo, but we just call that a wizard kick in wrestling.
This is where Renato's so dangerous when he's passing on the outside, side to side. But you see how Oliver gets to the legs, he starts trying to sit up, and then when you start to keep him down, that's when he jumps into the legs.
Now just 30 seconds remain.
Look at this.
Beautiful.
Passing just looking phenomenal tonight, all the way into the mount.
Yeah, he's cutting through Canuto's guard like a hot knife through butter right now. Great passing, great control. Let's see if he can keep this up as we head into overtime, and he can put some points on the board.
Canuto kind of showing us new flavors to his game. I mean, we know he's like a black belt of the highest order, but this game that he's showing us tonight, he's a much more diverse athlete than what you might think. He's not just all flying submissions and highlight reels. He can come out here, pass the guard, smash, and take you out positionally as well. Really great showing through regulation by Canuto.
He's tired. He's clamming up
To me,
now.
it shows that he fights fire with fire. When he goes against Jason Nolf, he's challenging him in the wrestling, going against a strategist in Taza. Maybe he's coming in here with a little more strategy than he normally does. And you can see right here, Taza looking to get to a leg entanglement. And then you see Renato looking to get through this heel hook from Taza. Taza coming out on top. And look at this. This is beautiful. Look at the way he's going side to side, gets to the side control, locks his hands, secures the position, gets to the knee on belly. Then you see this right here. Really nice whizzer kick from Renato Canuto right to the knee on belly. Just really good control from Renato Canuto. But still staying true to himself, as you can see, with a big throw like that. But seeing a lot more control than we've seen from him in the past.
Points. Ready? Ready?
Fight.
Overtime underway, points in play, 5 minutes to work.
Now let's see if their strategies change at all now that there's points.
Well, this is where Renato Canuto can be so dangerous. If he can catch Taza just a little bit overextended or a little bit overzealous in his desire to try to score, that's where a guy like Canuto really snaps on and finds his openings.
Taza looking to go high-low with that knee pick. Canuto just relaxed out there.
It's crazy. You think about Canuto as like this wily old vet. He's 28 years old.
That's so crazy. He's just now getting into his prime, man. 28 to 35 is a really fun time to be alive, B-Mac.
Well, that was a long time ago for me. I can't even remember if you're correct. I'm sure it was great.
Pawn at the head is Canuto.
Canuto's last match was against Jason Nolf. I think he's really comfortable wrestling now, right?
Very comfortable, very, very comfortable.
Well, he's had some great scraps with other guys in his wrestling as well. A couple of epic scraps with BJ Barch, who we know is a phenomenal wrestler.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Come.
Jason Herzog pulling in the back to the center of the mat.
Canuto keeping that grip on the back of the tricep.
You know, for Taza, he's got to put some points on the board, because if you go back to regulation and all the passing and all the, you know, the position advancing that Renato did, got to think he's going to get the judge's nod if Taza can't get a score here.
And this is where that slow, calculated, strategic game of Taza can backfire on him, because he's not as willing to jump out there and take a risk and try to create an opportunity for himself to score. He'll do it, but the chances that he'll do it versus the chances that Canuto goes out there and does it, not the same. Look at that.
Really
Canuto
nice redrag.
Drags him right back down to the ground.
Very nice redrag from Renato Canuto. And he's attacking the front headlock right now.
Taza trying to work his way back to his feet.
Taza in a position to hit a duck right now.
You think points for takedown now?
Oh, look at that. Tries the inside trip.
The problem is when you go for the inside trip, B-Mac, he stepped and reached with his leg. You got to pull your opponent into you and then go for the trip. Canuto was stepping away from him, and he tried to reach with his legs. He's lucky that he didn't get clubbed and get that position reversed on him. But if you want that inside trip, you got to pull your opponent into you, so that way you can get your leg inside.
It's opportunity now for Taza.
Big scramble here.
Not going to stay down. Pops back up. Doesn't let that hip stay down. No score yet. Canuto back to the feet. Taza trying to collect the leg and shelve him.
Goes from a quad pod to a hand fight. Turns back into him.
Oh, wow.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
Renato Canuto under pressure right there. Finds his way back to the top position.
And look where his knee's at right now.
Taza got to be careful. He doesn't leave his head behind during this guard passing attempt.
Yep, look at him do that. He's reaching around looking for the far wrist.
More trap now.
90 seconds left here in overtime.
Canuto's going for the old reach around.
TJ, back to you.
This is a great spot for Canuto.
This is a really good spot. Great Kimura trap.
Now he's basically in a crucifix Kimura spot.
A phenomenal showing
See if
by
he can
Renato
rotate it on
Canuto
top
so
here.
far.
But it all started because he reached around for that far wrist. That far wrist, and I know I call it a reach around, but that is what I call it. You got to reach around and trap that far wrist, and that's how I like to get to this crucifix position, looking for that Kimura trap.
Yeah, and he opted for that instead of the front headlock.
Yes, very smart.
I think Taza wasn't quite expecting that. That opened up an opportunity.
The problem I have with the crucifix position, and I love it so much, is it's not a score.
It is.
And to me, I feel like it's such a control position, but it doesn't warrant you points.
Ready?
Jason Herzog getting them set for the reset inside the final minute of overtime.
Now Taza is trying to get his head back to the mat. Canuto's doing a good job keeping his head off the mat.
Canuto keeping the wrist out away from the body.
He might switch his hips and try to come up in the mount.
He's reaching with his leg.
Nice counter. Good turn there by Taza. Ends up on top position. Canuto not going to concede.
That was smart of him to elevate that underhook and end up on top. Let's see if he can pass the knees.
Into a pass.
Oh, and he's got it. Wow.
Great work by Canuto.
Dare I call him Clutch Canuto?
Oh, I like it.
Clutch Canuto in the closing moments of overtime gets the pass, gets the 2 points, and pockets a big win over Oliver Taza.
Beautiful performance by Canuto.
Phenomenal showing by Renato Canuto, getting points in overtime and putting on a show in front of his hometown crowd here in Las Vegas. Really a star that shines each and every time on the mat. And he did so this time, BMAC, very tactfully in a way that not a lot of people were necessarily expecting him to.
Well, he showed just how much depth he has to his game. He's not a one-trick pony. He's not just an Instagram highlight. He's more than that, TJ. Respect this man's traditional game. He comes out, shows dominance in the wrestling, shows dominance in the passing. Mikey, talk us through this a little bit.
That was a really nice head snap from Taza.
It was great.
And he looked to get to the legs.
But Taza's defense was incredible this whole match as well. And he kept trying to counter reverse everything Canuto was doing, counter leg locks, counter reverse off of the turtle position. And then Canuto was able to get back to this position and then got to a more trap. It was such a great scramble from them, like so technical.
Yeah, a lot more pages in the book of Renato Canuto. He's got highlights all day, but there's good technical highlights to be had as well, and he called upon those skills tonight in our co-main event. To make this one official, we go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, after overtime, we have your winner, Renato Canuto.